All right, everyone, we're live. It's kind of the pregame show. If you're listening in the past, I mean, we're in the future. No, we're in the past. You're in the future. Uh, the stream should start right around 3 minutes, at around the 3 minute mark. So
Well, I
that's
mean,
when
the stream has started now. The show will
well,
start in about
the
3
official
minutes.
show starts
Yeah.
around the 3 minute mark. So right now it's just us
Oh.
goofing around. Did you just hiccup?
No, I said, oh, because I moved and the dog moved because he was standing right next to me and almost knocked something over.
Ah, so it's the dance of the dog.
It is.
And so right now what we do is we typically wait for Mark to show up, and then Mark comes zooming in at the very last minute, and then we go
Screaming in the door.
screaming in the door.
Yeah.
He was feeling under the weather. Oh no, I just violated HIPAA. Oh wait, this isn't a job. And that one on the one thing I can skip, I'm going to skip that one.
Okay.
Okay. Don't worry about it. It wasn't that great. It was just Fauci. No one really wants to talk about Fauci, right?
That's probably true.
Okay. Well, I'm not showing up as live on our stuff yet. But I'm sure it is recording. Because you have proven to be very
yeah, it's
accurate.
showing up live.
Okay.
I can see it.
Okay, good. Oh, yep. There we go. But it's wrong because it shows a picture of Mark, and Mark's not here yet.
Well, in that case, we just have to go with virtual Mark.
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, mute there. Hit that go. And I am ready. Are you ready?
It's not 8 o'clock yet.
Well, I asked if you're ready. I didn't say it's 8 o'clock. Let's go.
I have been ready for about 2.5 hours.
You have not. You were with me. You just got home 20 minutes ago. Just
I know, but I was done. I was ready
Okay.
for done with everything.
Me too. Oh, it is 8 o'clock.
Oh my God! It's time to hit the button.
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome, everyone, to the 77th live edition of Bombs, Bants, and Wednesday Rants. As always, I am your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from an undisclosed location hidden deep beneath the surface of the earth. Is Mark here?
I don't hear him.
No, Mark. Okay. Well, Mark will either be here or he won't be. He didn't phone in, so I do know he was feeling under the weather. He did indicate that on his blog. So, but also with me is the missus.
Hello.
How are you doing, the missus?
I am doing okay.
I've got a note. Quizzer is back. Oh my gosh! And Willie's here, and Jim's here. It's
Hey,
like
the gang's all here.
Folks, welcome, and I'm glad you joined us live. So thank you very much. Well, shall we tear into it, or did you want to?
Well, no, I
banter?
had some stuff, just news to talk about. Like not real news, but like.
It's the pregame show. This is the pregame show to the.
Oh wait,
other
I think
thing.
Mark's showing up here. Here
Yeah.
he comes.
Oh, and Tara Brate's here
There
too.
he is.
So Mark, before you got here, Quizzer was here, and Jim was here, and Willie was here, and Tara Brate was here. So just you're gonna have to take a tardy for the team.
You'll have to stay after class, Mark. I'm sorry.
Are you
He
feeling
just
better?
left.
Okay. No, sorry, my audio cut out for a second there. Yeah, I'm feeling better, but there was a snowstorm that hit just as I was on my way home, and
A
traffic
snowstorm.
was
A snowstorm
delayed.
of Ebola. It's an
oh. So many people around here that drive like they've never seen snow before, but with all the out-of-state people that have moved here, that might even be correct.
Indeed, indeed. Well, the missus had some banter she wanted to engage in, so
I did. I do have some funnies. Okay, so the first funny I have was just a text that I got earlier today from Pugsley. He comes home for lunch from school, and on his way out the front door, one of the bottle cats slipped in, and so he
the bottle cats are the cats that live by our front door.
Yes.
It's a reference to Trailer Park Boys, the bottle kids. But anyway, bottle cats.
Right. So one of the bottle cats slipped in, and he texted me about it so that I would know that the cat was in the house, because it's a cat who's not supposed to be in the house because there's nothing he won't pee on. Okay? That's why he's an outdoor cat. So this is the text that I got from Pugsley, which says, "Wolf got inside. He's in the basement. Asterisk, cat." And I responded, "This may be the funniest text you have ever sent." So.
and he's not that impaired that he doesn't know a wolf from a cat. The name of this particular cat is Fluff.
And he was doing voice texting, yeah.
Yeah, and so Fluff was reinterpreted by our overlords, the AIs, as wolf.
I thought that was funny. Wolf got inside? Oh my God.
And just like the Norwegians would say, "Jeg har en ulv." All right, your next funny.
Okay, so the next funny I just came across on the internet. So we have here science guy Neil deGrasse Tyson saying the 7 newly discovered Earth-sized planets orbit a red dwarf star, so perhaps they should be named after the 7 dwarves. And the only appropriate response came right underneath that said no. They should be called Rimmer, Lister, Cat, Crichton, Hawley, Kachansky, and Dwayne Dibley.
There you go. That's a reference to a British science fiction show, Red Dwarf.
Which is very funny. If you like Star Trek, you'll love Red Dwarf.
And Terbright asked, "Did the cat pee inside?" And the answer is no. He was inside for less than 5 minutes.
He was inside. He's not a very smart cat, and he was inside long enough, I think, to forget how he ended up in the house. And so he was kind of like, "Where am I? I'm on the wrong side of the door. Help me." Yeah.
Yep.
And then our actual indoor cat was standing menacingly at the top of the stairs and wouldn't let him come up the stairs. So I had to go get him. Yeah.
So have you more?
I do have more. I have a funny Lori Lightfoot meme too.
How many more are there?
Just 2, and then the story about our fat dog.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the Lori Lightfoot meme. Lori Lightfoot can now return to her day job as floor model for Bass Pro Shops.
What an unfortunate looking woman.
And I know, right? How could she have lost? It's Chicago.
Beetlejuice. Oh.
No, don't say it. Lori Lightfoot will show up in our basement.
But you won't be able to breathe because it's this air.
That's true.
You know.
But one would hope she could get us like a discount or something at the Bass Pro Shop.
All right, and your
I
last
don't like
funny?
camping, but I do like accessories for camping. So, anyway, my last story is about our fat dog, whom we talked about last week. Here he is, having dug a can of dog food, empty can of dog food out of the trash can so that he could lick the last tender, juicy morsels out of a can of dog food. So, again, the dog is diabetic now, too, so he has to take shots twice a day. This is where we are. And so it was the middle of the night. It was about 3 a.m. last week. And I wake up, and the dog is next to the bed. He has gotten off the bed and wandered off in the middle of the night. Next to the bed, putting his paws, desperately trying to wake me up. And I look down, and what has happened is that John Wilder has put an empty peanut butter container in the trash can without putting the lid on it first. And Fat Dog has dug it out of the trash can, licked all the peanut butter out of it, and now it's stuck on his head so he looks like Spaceman Spiff. So I had to get up and in the middle of the night and pull the peanut butter jar off the dog's head. And I thought I was going to have to butter him up to get it off, but it didn't. It came off. He gave a little when I did that, and I was like, well, that kind of serves you right.
And I'd do it again.
Absolutely he would do it again. Absolutely
all right.
He would. Okay, so that's all my extra stuff.
That's all. Did you have any banter for the crowd?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I have to say I was very disappointed to learn today. I posted what I thought was a great news story on my blog about a Chinese restaurant owner and his son getting arrested for capturing dogs and serving them up
Mm-hmm.
at the restaurant. And I thought, oh, this is such an awesome story. And I even threw in embedded the video for the cat cat in the kettle parody
Mm-hmm.
song and everything. But then I found out that the site I'd blog or gotten that from is just a sort of a spoof news site anyway. So very disappointed. But it was hilarious because they were like had all this information about the neighborhood having all these posters up for missing dogs and statistics from the local animal shelter about missing dogs. It was hilarious.
Well, I did see a spoof. There's a spoof Twitter account, and it's someone who pretends to be a crazy leftist, and they had a picture of a sign on their daughter's door. It's obvious that they wrote the sign. It said, "I'm not coming out of this room until Biden arrests Tucker Carlson. Hashtag resist." My 12-year and the tweet said, "My 12-year-old refuses to come out of her room because Tucker Carlson has not been arrested."
I'm just surprised it wasn't their 4-year-old.
Yeah. And then everyone
My
clapped.
4-year-old said, "Mommy, don't Republicans ever experience cognitive dissonance when it comes to blah, 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 blah?" Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know, right.
Well, speaking of speeches, Donald Trump Jr. spoke about cancel culture last week at CPAC.
Because that was the thing that was happening.
Yeah, and I'm going to opine about this a little bit in a minute. Specifically, he was talking about his news aggregator app, M&M News.
It's MXM. It's MXM.
That sounds like the Nixium thing that was the sex club. Anyway, it was unceremoniously dropped by PNC Bank. Here he is talking about it with Newsmax last Thursday.
PNC Bank sends us a letter. We're not even a phone call. It's like the breakup through text. Yeah. A letter with a cashier's check for, what we had, significant amount of money that we had in account for a news aggregator. Not even someone producing right-wing propaganda, but something that takes all the news to make sure that you see it.
Yeah, PNC they just dumped them.
Yeah, PNC reinstated the account on Friday along with the statement, account closures can occur for a variety of reasons, but are never influenced by political views or affiliations of our customers. PNC called the closure a good faith error.
I'm sure it was. It had nothing to do with that they had just found out that someone whose last name was Trump was part of that.
So here's what happened at CPAC, and here's my take on it. CPAC has kind of often been touted as the Comic-Con for folks on the right. It's kind of their big party time. It's their big nerds that are into politics show. Go to CPAC. This year it was dead. And so my take on this is that you go back to the national divorce comment from Marjorie Taylor Greene and the poll by Rasmussen, which indicates that 47% of Republicans want out. They just say it's time to dissolve the union, let the Republicans go the Republicans' way. I think that what we're seeing is that there is a significant amount of people on the right that are just done with it, and they don't believe in the political process anymore.
And
Mark, what do you think?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, I agree. I understand why people want out, because it's like being locked into an abusive relationship to have to live around liberals. I mean, that's really where it's gotten in this country.
And in fact, liberals tend to flock based on very much what I'm going to call emotions and virtue signaling. And I wonder what a leftist would think about Elon Musk.
Oh, you caught me off guard. I was waiting to talk. I wasn't waiting to hit play.
Well, you can talk after you play your thing.
All right. So just shut up and play it is what you're saying?
Just shut up and play the piano.
All right, here we go.
Dear Elon Musk, you are the most terriblest person ever. The world was so much better before you were born in South Africa and started apartheid. I can't even get over how racist you are. I have to drive my Tesla in shame now because of you. When I first bought it, my liberal friends were all like, wow, you are such an amazing person for saving the planet. You are such a good person. But now, they can't understand how I can drive such a racist car. But it cost my parents $100,000 and I'm underwater on the payments. You totally ruined my smug, Elmo. And don't even get me started on Twitter. It used to be a place where people could discuss issues like rational adults. But now, anyone can tweet. Not just people I agree with. You're such a fascist. I bet you burn books too. Everyone knows that our democracy can only survive if we keep certain people from being able to speak. The First Amendment is first for a reason, Elmo, and the fact that you keep trying to use it to talk about your political beliefs just shows how much you don't understand freedom. I hope all 17 of your kids turn out to be gay. I mean, it's fine to be gay and everything, and it wouldn't be a punishment at all, but I still hope it happens to you because you're terrible. There. Now I can post this on social media, but not Twitter because I deleted my account. So all of my friends can tell me how brave I am. You douche canoe.
That's my favorite part. Oh, wait,
Hey, it's me, Mario, and I wonder, what's the problem with being the racist? You get in the car and you go really fast, the 12 cylinders. You drive with the special engines, you go very fast, curve, turn, turn.
Suddenly, somewhere in there, you turned into Count Dracula.
I come to see your racetrack.
The sad part is that the left is so crazy that, it would, for someone just tuning in, it'd be hard to tell whether that was a parody or real.
I know, right? Well, I've heard so many of those things. And the gay thing, right? How many times did you see memes and leftists referring to, Trump filleting Vladimir Putin? Wait, I thought it was okay to be gay. Isn't it okay to be gay? Is it not? Why is that an insult? So...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to avoid so many different things right here. So you said you had something to say before I
can't remember what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, Tara Brayta thought that was pretty good. He also notes that the kids can be trans, and I actually think that Elon Musk,
one of them is
trans.
Well, that's what made me think about that. Actually.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Mom. I mean, not you. Wooly Cully, totally underwater. That should help extinguish the battery fire. Witzel said it should, but sad to say, it won't. All right. Communism, or the euphemism for it, let's call it democratic socialism, is all the rage among young people these days. Here's a clip from YouTube channel Liberty Hangout, talking to a couple of students from... It says Rutgers, but the first time I read it, I saw Rugers, and I thought, how cool would it be?
Cool. Yeah, that would be
That's a cool college. We're going to Rugers, and I'm going to get my
Yes.
M77 out. It's a 30-06.
No.
Okay. No, it's from Rutgers
It's
University.
Rutgers.
Paul Robeson went here, the famous black communist.
Communist. Should we be celebrating that?
Are you triggered?
No, I'm asking you a question.
I believe, communism's a great thing, actually.
The idea of communism is absolutely liberating. It's the idea of embracing a collective spirit to build a better world.
Oh my God!
I'll be happy and have the
you.
perfect job. I know it sounds like me imitating a leftist, right?
I'll get to be the poet of the commune, and then
I'll be the barista and make coffee for everyone.
They don't realize that the real answer is going to be
you get in the field and work.
Face to the wall.
Well, after you can no longer go in the field and work, right?
So the young man, that's a man? That was a man?
Yes, the one that was talking about Paul Robeson, that was a man. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. The young man, I'm going to air quote that in that clip, went on to explain that communism hasn't ever really been tried because it's been implemented poorly, and he thinks humans are natural collectivists. But it's so natural we can't get it right after.
Right. You ever notice that capitalism is not a thing that anyone ever has to install in a society?
Yep. But so anyway, and I will note that Tara Brayton notes triggered at Ruger's. Triggered. Good one.
Here, I've got a commie meme for you too. Here. See, this is actually what started me thinking about this. I came across this on Facebook. And all the people, the little Gen Z millennial type people were like, I know, this is why, we need the communism and the socialism. Yes, that way we can all be in poverty and starve together.
Record profits, record poverty, record obesity. It's almost like we produce so much food. Oh, wait, no.
On the other side of it, there's a T-shirt, a meme going around, T-shirt and that kind of thing. Says the F in communism is for food.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Exactly.
And that is also what. Well, it's a long, complicated joke. So let's take a look at some charts.
Well, hang on. Yeah, we've got some charts here.
Okay.
Positive views of socialism versus capitalism from 2019 through 2020. And on the socialism side, the positive has gone down and the negative has gone up a little bit. But the positive views of capitalism have gone down on the other side. And again, because we're getting to a generation of kids. Actually, I read a letter to the editor in the Wall Street Journal that will be in today's journal. This is the one I showed to you earlier when we were at the thing. Yes. About someone who taught history and, would ask their students, who's the greatest killer in all history? And they would all say Hitler, of course, right? And then the teacher would say, actually, it's Stalin and Mao. And they had not heard, they didn't even know who Joseph Stalin was, let alone Chairman Mao.
Ta-da! Welcome. So you can be the biggest killer in history and not even be on there. Still out there, Mark? You'll be very quiet.
Oh, I've got nothing to say. I mean, all the major killers in history have been socialists of one sort or another. So,
and yet you choose to live in the most socialist environment in your state. Care to explain that? Mm-hmm.
Or are you going to jump on Mark? I'm going to protect Mark here.
Actually, I don't live there. I live in a different city.
Oh, okay.
See, he does it the right way. He lives in the place where he wants to live and then goes and takes the money of the leftists. So, is that how that works, Mark? I'm trying to help you here, man.
Yeah. No, that's exactly how it works.
So here's my other chart that I have, which is breaking it down by party, their views of socialism and capitalism. And it's interesting to see that amongst Democrats and just overall, the positive views of socialism have gone down, whereas it's gone down for Republicans or leaning Republican, just by a little bit though. But then views of capitalism have kind of gone down for everybody. But maybe that's why. maybe that's because, I don't know, the big hand of government has been so involved in our capitalism in that time period from 2019 to 2022 that they just keep effing things up.
Well again, to be honest, I think a lot of it is people sometimes misapply the terms. I mean, capitalism, we, excuse me, just based on history, we sort of hold capitalism synonymous with free market, but that doesn't actually have to be the case. And that's where we live right now, is where, yeah, technically we have capitalism. Actually, it's more of a socialism, but still it's capitalism, but we don't have that free market aspect anymore because we've either got these corporations that have monopolistic powers, or we have government with its heavy hand on how things could turn out economically.
Absolutely, that's the case. And we don't have, and again, it's not that true capitalism hasn't been tried. It has, and it generally works pretty well until people start twisting the system and getting the system too powerful. But all right, let's skip on this. We're getting to
Could stay on that topic forever.
Yep. All right. Parents of a British schoolgirl are outraged. Parents. Well, I'm going to start again from the top of this one. Parents of a British schoolgirl are outraged at the girls' school after they say a teacher purposely misgendered their 13-year-old daughter. The girl, whose name is Rayanne, says her teacher called her Ryan and called her a he even after the girl tried to explain. The Newsbot has more to this confusing story.
The girl's mother, Rue Ann, said her daughter's teacher continued to refer to the girl as he. Ray Ann said, "I told you I'm a girl. I'm not a boy." She still continued to refer to her as Ryan, and when she referred to Ray Ann in the class, she said, "The two boys." At the front of the class, and her school friends were like, "She's a girl." Ray Ann then said she got tired of it. She just didn't correct her anymore. She just stopped correcting. She corrected her in the first month but just continued to do it anyway. Ray Ann said that other students began mocking her, but stopped when they realized how serious it was.
Indeed.
So this is the world in which we live. And part of that story, too, was that apparently someone had told the teacher that this student identified as male. And that's why the teacher was doing it. And the teacher was like, well, I'm not listening to you guys because I don't want to get in trouble, because I can see that side of it.
Well, yeah, we've gone a little bit too crazy. I think I identify as, well, I guess I can't identify as trans 18. Maybe I could identify as like trans 70. Because if I were trans 70, then I'd get like all the Social Security money, right? And, you know.
You might get a little before they run out of it.
Yeah. And we'll actually get back to that in a little bit. Having dealt with all the other issues affecting humanity, a group of researchers from Wales, that's the country, not the fish, mammal, sorry.
Mammals.
Decided to answer the question, why are people afraid of clowns?
And just to go along with this story in the background, I'm going to put up some non-frightening images of clowns just while you're talking. So,
okay. Why are people afraid of clowns? To do this, they devised a questionnaire and gave it to an international sample of 987 people aged between the ages of 18 and 77. The Newsbot has the story.
More than half the respondents, 53.5%, said they were scared of clowns at least to some degree, with 5% saying they were extremely afraid of them and that women were more likely than men to have this particular fear. The reason? The strongest factor researchers identified was hidden emotional signals, suggesting that for many people, a fear of clowns stems from not being able to see their facial expressions due to their makeup. In short, it's because we cannot see their true faces and therefore cannot understand their emotional intent.
It's almost like the same reason people didn't like the masks.
Okay, was that first clown John
Wow,
Wayne
it's
Gacy?
almost like
the first clown was not the
people
second
don't
one
like
was.
Biden.
That is John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I slipped him in there. And also this guy.
Okay. Oh, that's time to stop clowning around.
You know, I think the scared of clown things has become... Okay, so your youngest daughter, when she was in high school, went through this thing where she hated penguins. You remember that?
No.
It was a thing that happened. And the reason why she hated penguins was because it's trendy to hate penguins at that time. And to say that you hated penguins. You see any connection here to the trans thing?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of one of the things with clowns is it's very trendy to say you're afraid of clowns or that you hate clowns. I don't think adults are really afraid of clowns.
Okay, that's not as scary as the next story, though.
That's true.
Because are you a big fan of coffee? Can you go for several cups of the stuff a day? Well, you have nothing on Mike and Trina from St. Petersburg, Florida. However, again, I haven't heard this, so I'm kind of scared. You might not enjoy their delivery method.
4 times a day, Mike and Trina fill a bucket with coffee. A hose attached to the bottom delivers the liquid to the lower intestine.
Once it's all prepped and at the right temperature, put the nozzle into your rectum, hold it up in the air.
As they raise the bucket, 32 ounces of coffee fills their colon.
You'll start to feel pressure growing in your lower intestine, and that's the freaky part. And just lay there and try to relax.
Yeah. The best part. Did you make that?
No. That's actually available on a coffee cup or a T-shirt. Google it; it's out there. Just do it GIS for coffee enemas. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. And you had to put that before we have our new products that we're selling. Well, here's our first commercial for our new product. It seems like every podcast nowadays is selling one thing: coffee.
Coffee.
Yes.
Sweet, nourishing coffee.
And we here at Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants have come up with our own special depth charge coffee. How do you like your coffee?
I like my coffee like I like my humor.
How's that?
Dark and involving child labor.
Excellent. Science has shown that if you replace your morning coffee with green tea, you can remove 73% of the joy in your life. So that's why I suggest using Depth Charge Coffee. There's an entire book in the Bible about husbands making coffee. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's called Hebrews.
I got to tell you, folks, these are old coffee jokes. So you might have a sense of deja vu going on right now, but that's just what we want you to have with Depth Charge Coffee. We even have a new CIA brew, which might keep you up at night.
Or it might just be the drugs they're putting into it.
Our coffee is
probably the drugs.
It's probably the drugs because our coffee is so strong, it's guaranteed to show up on a company drug test. Our coffee is so strong, it's guaranteed to show up on a company drug test.
That's easy for you to say. You had to say it twice. It's so good.
Yes. And here at Depth Charge Coffee, we don't ship whole bean coffee.
We only ship ground, just like UPS. So get yours today. It's the best coffee on the market. Look for it in a coffee store near you or at www.thisisnotarealproduct.com. It's called
Depth Charge Coffee
from Bombs and Bants.
Oh.
Sounds delicious. I bet Mike and Trina can hardly wait to put a bucket of that in their system.
You know, we probably argued for longer than it took us to make that commercial.
Probably so. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So Mark, the missus and I sat and argued with each other on how we were going to make the commercial. Well, we need to write it first. Well, no, I just wanted to ad lib. No, we need to write it first. So, yeah. So we ended up with that.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I wonder, does the CIA coffee sneak in through the back door?
No, they just have a van out in the alley.
That was the previous show. That's the story. All right.
And I did leave your little screw up in there, and you had to know that was going to happen.
I knew that. All right.
Oh, how could I have missed this on the Mike and Trina story? Take it away, Johnny.
Fecal matter.
There you go. Let's go to our favorite feature of the week.
What's that?
You know, the thing that we give the award out for.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I was coughing. I had my mic on mute for a second. Okie dokie.
This is Neil Young.
Hey, get that jackass out of here!
And I'm proud to present my Braying Jackass of the week.
All right, first up, and I can't believe this is the first time he's been on the show, because this man
I don't think it is.
Well, he is a born jackass. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. I think I could just stop there and he wins. Who, while on the floor of the U.S. Senate, calls for censorship of an American journalist reporting on American politics.
Last night, millions of Americans tuned in to one of the most shameful hours we have ever seen on cable television. With contempt for the facts, disregard of the risks, and knowing full well he was lying to his audience, Fox News host Tucker Carlson ran a lengthy segment last night arguing the January 6th Capitol attack was not a violent insurrection. By diving deep into the waters of conspiracy and cherry-picking from thousands of hours of security footage, Mr. Carlson told the bold-faced lie that the Capitol attack, which we all saw with our own eyes, was somehow not an attack at all. I urge Fox News to order Carlson to cease propagating the big lie on his network and to level with their viewers about the truth behind the efforts to mislead the public. Conduct like theirs is just asking for another January 6th to happen.
Oh my God, that sounds serious.
That is so terrible. How can he say that we watched it all with our own eyes when they've never previously released the video?
and
What a
beyond
bunch
that,
of crap.
When they show Buffalo Head Man being taken by the police to check door after door after door to see which one was open so he could get into the Capitol. All right. I'm sorry.
Well, and I've heard that the response to this is that it was what did you tell me earlier tonight? We were talking about this. What was the phrase you used? You are very unhelpful. Okay.
I fell asleep.
No, you didn't. It's while we were sitting at the table.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the second one. Okay.
Well, no, what I was just going to say is that we have this after 4 years of Russia, right? Here are just some headlines since 2018. Americans made to learn from Russia about Trump-Putin call. Rachel Maddow, NBC. January 2019. Here are 18 reasons Trump could be a Russian asset. Max Boot in the WAPO. In November 2019, Trump is either a Russian asset or a useful idiot. Joe Scarborough, MSNBC. September 13th, 2020, Peter Strzok. I believe Trump is compromised by the Russians. December 22nd, 2020, Biden calls Trump's Putin's puppy. February 23rd, 2022, General McCaffrey. Trump, Pompeo's support of murderous thug Putin endangers America. September 6, 2020, Joy Reid likens Trump having classified documents to U.S. spy deaths.
You could keep going.
Yes.
And guess what?
On and on and on. I know.
We have a golden, shiny class of jackasses this week. Because otherwise we could just say we're done. But there's more. There's more. Number 2, on ESPN's show First Take last week, commentator Kendrick Perkins.
He's the guy on the right.
Said basketball players Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, and Nikola Jokic, the only players since 1990 to have won the NBA MVP award without finishing in the top 10 in the league and scoring before seemingly attempting to point out a similarity among the 3 players. Maybe. What do these 3 guys have in common? I'll let it sit there and marinate. You think about it, Perkins said. Then on yesterday's show, he had this interchange with J.J. Redick,
who is in the middle in the picture.
I want to just say something. Stephen A., I mean no offense to you, and I mean no offense to First Take, because I think this show is extremely valuable. It is an honor to be on this desk every day. It really is. But what we've just witnessed is the problem with this show, where we create narratives that do not exist in reality. The implication, what you are implying, that the white voters that vote on NBA are racist, that they favor white people. You just said that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That is exactly what you implied, Kendrick Perkins. That is exactly what you implied. Secondly, hold on.
I did not call. I stated the facts. And you're not about to sit up.
We all know what you implied the other day. We all know what you implied just now. Hold on.
I stated one at a time. It's the facts. It's the facts. It's the facts.
Okay.
Just stick your fingers in your ears and go, I can't hear you.
Yes, indeed. All 3 of the players.
I never said any such thing. No, but you implied it, certainly. What were you implying? If you didn't mean that, what did you mean?
He got called on it by a white person.
And the jackass is for Perkins, not for Redick.
Yes, it is for Perkins, the person who it said that the only reason why. I'm just going to step back from this one, but it's the facts. And number 3, White House resident Brandon Magoo was in Selma, Alabama last week to mark the anniversary of the March on Selma. And he couldn't miss the opportunity to once again paint half the country. Well, go take it away.
As I come here in commemoration, not for show, Selma is a reckoning. The right to vote, to have your vote counted, is the threshold of democracy and liberty. With it, anything's possible. Without it, without that right, nothing is possible. And this fundamental right remains under assault. The conservative Supreme Court has gutted the Voting Rights Act over the years. Since the 2020 election, a wave of states and dozens of anti-voting laws fueled by the big lie and the election deniers now elected to office.
Yes. We're moving towards a peaceful take. All right. So far we have Jim Wetzel voted.
Sorry.
You had more?
No, I was just going to say that I just had this picture that, okay, you remember several years ago, it was from the RNC, I think maybe in 2020, but it was Laura Ingraham, and she was waving to the crowd, and how it went around that, here's Laura Ingraham giving a German Social Club salute to the audience. I just want to say, Joe Biden did the exact same thing in Selma, and here he is doing it. And I know he's waving to the crowd, but so was Laura Ingraham. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so Jim was voting and staying with number one. I think Mr. Schumer is a very popular one. Mark, what's your take?
I agree, Mr. Schumer. Schumer's would be my vote because, the others, we got a TV commentator doing whatever they do, no big deal. The Biden spewing out his normal rhetoric, just hot air. But Schumer, that one's just dangerous. So
I think he gets. I think this is unanimous from everyone listening. He gets the coveted double Jackass award.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the first time double Jackass award. You can take the outro music.
I'm working on it. I got 2 screens going here. And this has been Neil Young's Braying Jackass of the Week.
All right. Jim notes that...
And also, just for Chuck Schumer.
You dumbass.
Yep. Jim notes that he voted for number one before we got started. He's a psychic or a psycho. You know what, Jim? You keep doing it, buddy. All right. It's time for...
Think real fast.
Think real fast. Germany apparently has a subscription to the New York Times and read that Ukraine was responsible for blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline. Some German minister named Hans von something said that Germany will withdraw support from Ukraine. Mark, when have German panzers in Ukraine been a good sign?
When they were pushing the communists out.
There you go. The missus. Is this Poland's fault?
Probably. Someone should beat them up.
Indeed. Breaking news. A CSX train derails in Virginia and ignites. Mark, have the trains taken up war against humanity?
That's a good question. I haven't been attacked by any trains lately, so I'm just going to have to say no comment.
The missus? Why trains? I mean, is this Thomas the Tank Engine getting his revenge?
No, it's just Skynet slowly sneaking in to take over.
I'll be back.
And why is Pete Buttigieg, why has he not stopped this? Okay. All right. Next item.
Because he's using that coffee trick that you
right.
told that story about.
Oh, so many jokes I'm not going to make. Riots in Georgia, both of them. The one near the Russia. That Georgia wants to join the EU, and Atlanta, who wants to join the Soviet something. Mark, who would win an arm wrestling contest? Georgia, or Georgia O'Keeffe?
I'm going to go with O'Keeffe.
The missus? Why is Georgia on my mind?
See, I had a response for this, but if you had a mute button, you'd probably mute me. Because I was going to say, Georgia O'Keeffe, it's all on her lips.
Oh, boy. I'm just going to stop right there. Talking about a womb with a view.
That's
all
right.
Riots in France because I'm going to spin the wheel. It's Wednesday. The reason? They're raising the retirement age for French people from 62 to 64. Mark, why can they retire so early? Is it because they save money by not using soap?
Oh gosh. No, I think they retire so early because they've just been out of work for so long.
They get used to the afternoon nap, and you can't give that up, man.
We do not even have a language anymore. We just have this silly accent.
I've gone minutes and minutes without a break.
The missus.
Yes.
Does this prove that the old adage that the only people that France can beat in a war are the French?
That's probably true. But you know what happens when with the riots in France?
Massive cannibalism.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we did hear the attack on Tucker Carlson. He showed film that showed the January 6th narrative put forward by the left was a lie. Mark, here's the important question. Do you dress as well as he does?
I try not to.
The missus. What were his parents thinking naming him Tucker?
I know. Maybe they thought he was going to go by Tuck. But I can't think that middle school was good for him.
All right.
All sorts of nicknames that we can't say.
Isn't there a book or something called Tuck
Everlasting?
Everlasting?
That's exactly what I was thinking about was Tuck Everlasting. Yeah.
All right. We're down to three. Think real fast. All right. Lindsay Ladybug Graham is suggesting we invade Mexico. This is not a repeat of 1848 or 1912. Mark, should we exhume Blackjack Pershing to lead the invasion?
Oh, well, maybe he can visit Congress instead.
Okay. The missus?
Yes.
Should we invade them to force them to give us the recipe for those wonderful, wonderful tortillas?
I think so. Absolutely. Yes.
And
because if we run out of tortillas, you know what happens?
Massive cannibalism.
Yes.
And if we win, do we get the rights to Sabado Gigante?
I hope so. That's a massive... Is that even still on?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it is. All right. Down to story number 2. Rumors are out that Trudeau's elections were funded by the Chinese. And I've heard multiple stories on this. So this is a big scandal going right now in Canada. The missus, could all of this have been spared if Justin was some sort of stage actor?
Isn't he though? I mean, he's not really their prime minister, is he? This is all just got to be like one big April Fool's Day joke.
He's a drama teacher. That's close.
Yeah.
Oh,
see, so there you go. Yeah.
And he can even see LG.
It's funnier when he says it.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
Always makes me laugh.
Hey, you've got to give him a break, though. When his dad died in Cuba and he didn't get to take over, think of how heartbreaking that was.
That's true.
So Mark, does this mean that the Chinese now own America's hat?
Well, it was probably made in China if it's a hat, so.
Yes, I think they do. Not just because they bought him, but because they've bought up most of the major metro areas in Canada as well.
All right, Hillary Clinton. This is the last one.
I think that was the last one.
No, this is the last one. So it's International Women's Day. So Hillary Clinton was talking on stage with the First Lady of the Ukraine, Olena Zelenska, Billie Jean King, and Mika Brzezinski. And she noted that the Ukraine conflict shows how climate change primarily affects women more than men. Mark, shouldn't they be making sandwiches instead?
I don't know if she's smart enough to make a sandwich.
The missus, how many of the people that I just listed have ever had actual sex with a man?
Well, okay, so Hillary and Bill, we know at least once, maybe.
Well, no.
I know there is that whole issue. I know.
Yeah.
And Zelensky was a very famous. I don't want to say very famous. I mean, he started a YouTube show, but it's very popular in Ukraine.
It was the First Lady.
I know, but she would have slept with him, right?
Well, he might be flamingly gay.
Yeah,
I don't think he's flamingly gay. I mean, I have not seen
you
him.
Seen the pictures of him at that gay pride parade? I think it was in New York that he attended.
I have not seen that. Did he come all the way to New York for the gay pride parade?
Again, I listed 4 people. How many of them have ever had actual sex with a man?
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
And Willie notes, see, Willie caught my punchline. Whatever answer you were going to say, I was going to say, you're wrong. You forgot Justin. Oh. Still there, the missus?
I am still here, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I can taste it.
Everybody satisfied with this wonderful evening's show?
Oh, I did have a couple more stories to share. Have you seen the pictures? Have you heard the online kerfuffle over Ron DeSantis' shoes?
No.
Because he wears cowboy boots. And the cowboy boots he wears have a pretty good heel on them. And if
he's only like 2 feet
I know.
taller.
Well, clearly he wears them, so it'll make him taller, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the leftists online, again, well, I just hope they're all gay. I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I hope that sort of thing again. Because now they're saying that Ron DeSantis, they're calling him Rhonda because they're saying he's wearing tranny boots, not understanding that those are really a thing that cowboys wear. I mean, my World War II veteran grandfather wore boots like that. He rode every day. He had a farm, a ranch. Wore boots like that with a heel every day, and he would have kicked some little slobbering fool in New York City's ass who's never gotten far enough away from Central Park to really know what a tree or really a horse would look like. So there's that. The other story was this new reality show that's coming on that stars Nick Cannon, who I think is a musician or maybe an actor or something like that. Anyway.
Or maybe a piece of artillery. Maybe he identifies as artillery.
No, I don't think so. He kind of got in trouble for mistreating, here on National Women's Day, women a few years ago. And there's something about, he has like 17 kids by 17 different women.
That's what Tara Bright just notes.
Yeah, but the reality show that he's going to put on is called Who's Having My Next Baby?
Oh, Jesus.
So literally he's having a reality show where he is going to produce an actual human being that will just be another in his stable of children that he monetarily supports, I guess, maybe. Maybe that's why he's doing the show. And Kevin Hart is involved in this in some way.
Is that really any different than Macaulay Culkin's parents? I mean...
Yeah, but Macaulay actually did work, and his parents were both there helpfully stealing his money, so...
Okay. Well, folks, we have gone 51 minutes since the actual start of the show, not the beginning part. So you know what?
Are you saying we're over time?
On that note, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week here on Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I am your humble host, John Wilder.
And I'm Mark, generally.
And so do I get to say that next week, woo! Spring break show! Woo! We'll be broadcasting from Fort Lauderdale.
And I won't be wearing a bra.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Y'all come back now.